All right, so for math today, you'll need your workbook volume 2, and please open up to page 285. And we're going to be doing page 285 and 286. If you do not have your workbook, then you can use a scrap paper. And these questions are word problems, but I think they should be fairly manageable. So we are doing decimal word problems, so we can write that as our title. Decimal word problems is your title, and the date is April 7, 20th. And let's take a look at this first question here. It says, one popular park to photograph leaves in autumn is Macedonia Brook State Park in Kent, Connecticut. The yellow trail is the shortest hiking trail and is 51/100ths mile long. What is this fraction written as a decimal? So we have this fraction 51/100ths, and we need to write it as a decimal. So the key here is hundredths, so that means it's 0 point blank blank for number 1. Alrighty, and you can fill in the rest. Number 2. The Rogers family is visiting Massachusetts to see the leaves change color. The old Eastern Marsh Trail is 1/2 miles long. The Bradford Rail Trail is 1/3 miles long. The Rogers family wants to take the longer trail. Which trail should they take? So we've got here for number 2, we've got 1/2, and we also have 1/3. And they want to know which is the longer trail. So if it were me, I would take these fractions because the 1 is the same, so we know it's 1. But we need to know which one is bigger here. So for 2/5, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3. That doesn't really look very good. 4, and now let's make this the 5th. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to do my tenths, I really need to make sure that the bars are equal. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this one. And then I'm going to split it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it says 2/5, so I'm going to color in 1/5, 2/5, and here it says 3/10, so we have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. So which is bigger, 1 and 2/5 or 1/3? You want to use the greater than, less than, equal to signs. Okay, so once you have your answers to page 285, please take a photo and send it to me. We're now going to move on to page 286. And here it says, Joshua and Lily are going north to participate in a walking tour in Clarkston Park to photograph the leaves. Here is the trail map of the different walking trails. So here in this image, you have all of these trails. There's the North Trail, 2/3 miles, the Upper Trail, 1/3 miles, the West Trail, 2.9 miles. So some of them are in decimals like this, the Lower Trail, 1.4 miles, but some are in fractions like this. So here, the first question is little video issue here. Maybe I can stick this more out. Aha. There we go. Write the length of the west trail as a fraction. So you're going to want to come over and find the west trail, which is 2.9 miles. And west trail, and let's write that here, number 3, 2.9 miles. And they want it as a fraction. So this here is our whole number. So we've got a giant 2. And then we have this 9. But the question is, what is the denominator? Since it's only in the 10th place, is it tens or hundredths? And I'll leave you with that one here. Let's try number 4. Which trail is shorter? The west trail or the north trail? Write the comparison using greater than, less than, or equal to. So we're comparing here the west trail, which is here, 2.9. Let's write it down, 2.9. And the north trail, which is here, 2 3/5 miles. 2 3/5 miles. So we are comparing these, greater than, less than, or equal to. So this one I again recommend you convert it into a fraction bar like this one. Convert this once you have this as a fraction. What does it look like to compare? Number 5, write the length of the lower trail as a fraction. So you will need to be taking 1.4, whoops, and writing it as a fraction, 1 and 4 what? 6, which trail is longer, the lower trail or the south trail? So again, you're using comparisons. 7, write a fraction that is equivalent to the length of the north trail. So you want to be making an equivalent fraction here. Number 7 is a little tricky. So you'll be taking 2 3/5, and you need to make an equivalent fraction, an equal fraction. So I would be then taking this 3/5, 1, 2, 3/5, and you then need to make an equal fraction. So first I would draw in the fifths, and then remember the trick. To make an equivalent fraction, you draw a line. So you've got 3/5. What is equal to 3/5? And for number 8, you're going to use the number line below and the benchmark fractions to name which trail is represented by each point. So you need to be naming this. So if you can see here, this is 1.5. This is 1, this is 2, this is 2.5, this is 3. So what would this one be then? And this one, and this one. So they have broken these apart. So for example, would this be 1 and 2/5? Or 1 and 3/4. That was definitely wrong, because 1 and 3/4 would be over here. Would this be 1 and 4/6? So how many little pieces has this been broken apart into? This one's a real tricky one. So if you're struggling with this one, we can check in our group tomorrow. Anyways, work today. This is video supporting you with page 286 and 285. Any questions about it, please send me a message or give me a call. Bye-bye.